arrived at sunrise. Martin spotted this rocky point on Google Maps and suggested we give it a try. It was absolutely beautiful.
Beautiful. Oh, beautiful. Very beautiful.
Time to figure out where to cast.
Like on the other side of that wave there, it looks like there's some calm water where there's no waves really crashing and kerplunking. I'm seeing quite a bit of current with these waves breaking, so let's just see how it goes. Yikes, we're gonna have to like keep our rod tip up really high. Okay, in case you guys have never seen me do this particular method, which I call the weave method, you start with your magic thread, and I've got a whole squid here. And what you want to do is just like do this kind of messy and nasty. You want to just wrap up. So that's about a ½ inch wide of thread. So a 1/4 inch, ½ inch, it's all you need. Kind of get it back and forth, back and forth. Now once I've got that in place, I'm gonna fold it in half like this, and I'm gonna pin this down in half. I love the fish bait like this. This is a good trick. You're gonna want, I know you're probably saying, what the hell is Vince up to right now? But then what I like to do is come and in that slice right there where the two split open, do a few more wraps right there just to keep it, just to hold it. So now that is gonna stay together. This part especially is gonna stay together, and let me show you why that's so important. This is why I call it the weave method. I'm gonna take my hook tip and I'm gonna go down under into some of these threads right here, like that. And I'm barely even getting into the flesh of this squid. It's more about the threads. So now I'm under those threads, and I'm gonna back out again and go down under some more threads. So it's now weaved on. And this just is not gonna come off no matter what you do. So a fish can come along and just chomp and chomp and chomp and bite and bite and bite, but they can't steal your bait. And that hook is completely wide open. So when they inhale the food, they inhale that hook with it. It can't come off. This is the best way to fish squid, and I love fishing this method. Oh, I felt like a thump. Oh yeah, that's fish, dude, fish. Fish. Got one? Yeah, but I'm stuck. So I got my weight back, I got the hook back. The hook was completely bent out. If I had used a leader, I would have lost that rig. I'm sure I would have lost, the whole thing would have just broke off. So I don't like using leaders for that reason. I've been rock fishing and lost enough rigs to know that I don't want to lose them anymore. So I upgraded to 65-pound braid, and I just run straight braid, just a straight drop shot. And I tend to get my rigs back a lot more frequently that way. And when I fish close to home, I'm starting to learn the spots where I can cast and I don't snag as much. I'm looking for those spots that I can key in on. I want that right at the top, so my bait will hang right underneath the hook. We need to do this like 20 times or so. And then right into that slot right there. There, that's gonna stick, that'll hold. All right, so weave it on. Under a little bit of threads, out, and then back down under some more threads, and back out again. That is ready to catch a fish. All right guys, welcome back to the next episode. My buddy Martin called, said, hey, do you wanna go hit this new spot up north? We'll try for rockfish. I was like, heck yeah, let's go. It took forever to get all packed up. I'm really shifting gears right now from perch fishing on the sandy beaches over to rock fishing on the rocky beaches. So I had to just sort of like revamp and get all my tackle ready. But here we are. I've already got a bite within my first minute out here. I'm gonna rig back up now for the 3rd time. And now I'm trying to zero in on a spot where I won't get snagged. I have a feeling if I cast right back out in that same spot, I'm just gonna keep getting snagged. So I'm gonna start looking for different places to cast.
Look for the calmest, deepest water.
So I looked at Google Earth, It looks like the best pocket is right where I casted in the beginning, to the left of the rock, right here. And as I watch the waves roll in, it looks like the calmest spot is right about here in this zone. That's where I got my first bite. I was behind that rock, but look what we have here is we have this point that I'm on, and then the rocks go continue, continue, continue all the way up to that one. So that's probably all shallow rock from here straight to that rock. I mean, there might be a hole in between somewhere, but that's probably all shallow rock. What I really like to find is like a drop off into some deeper water. I think it's gonna be straight ahead. I got snagged there twice, so I don't really want to cast there again, but I gotta go for it. It's the best looking water.
One of the tips I want to share is to be brave with your bait. Take a little bit of risk to cast into what you believe is the best structure.
Bingo! Right on target, guys. That's right where I wanted my bait to land. So I'm way out there in that deeper zone. Let's give this a couple minutes and see if we start getting bit. There we go. Yeah, bite, 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 bite. Bite, bite, bite. Fish on!
The black and yellow rockfish, a creature of striking beauty, hides a dangerous secret. Its spines, tipped with venom, can inflict a painful wound which may lead to secondary infections if not treated properly. In the thrill of the catch, I forgot the fish's venomous nature. Reviewing this footage, I learned my lesson. I'll be purchasing a simple fish handling glove, a small price to pay to prevent a serious mistake. This is a BG 5000. It's a great reel for rock fishing. It's big, powerful, and fast. It's durable. It can handle the wrath of the reef. It was recommended by Gary and Casper Kazazian, Instagram at California Surf Fishing. In fact, this rod I'm using was a gift from Casper. It's a perfect rod for this style of rock fishing because it's powerful enough to hoist big fish up rocks and cliffs. It's rated for a 15 to 30 pound line, although I use 65-pound braid, and baits between 2 and 6 ounces, but I bet it could throw 8 ounces, no problem. The model number is PRES F1530S11.
Check this out, guys. Here's our bait that we just caught that fish on. You can see and I'll be able to use this again to catch the next fish. All right, that ought to do, guys. It is weaved on there. It's not gonna come off. I could probably catch a whole limit with that one piece of squid if I don't snag it. The first thing I look for is, am I snagged or am I not snagged? So if you do just a little bit of pulling, just kind of pull back a little bit, you can feel if you're snagged or not. If you're not snagged and you feel that weight move, then stop and just let it drop. And your best bet is just to leave it right there. Hopefully you will not get snagged. And try to get a nice clean set while you're waiting for a fish to bite. You don't want to be snagged when a fish bites.
Switching over from the squid body to the squid head for bait. I'm not sure if this is exactly how I want to wrap my squid heads in the future. I'll work on that method and get back to you. Hit subscribe now to see how my weave method baiting technique evolves. But in any event, the principle is the same. We want a 1/4 inch or more of thread wraps, so we have enough threads to weave the hook tip into. And we want the bait to dangle down underneath the bottom of the hook bend. I placed that cast too far to the left, and at first I told myself, well, just fish it and see what happens. But then I decided, hell no. I want my bait in the best possible position. So I decided to recast until I feel confident.
That is basically exactly where I wanted to. Oh, Martin is on! Yeah, Martin! Get him, buddy! Woo! Cranking one in. There you go! Awesome. Oh, that's a beauty. It's a beauty, guys. Look at this beautiful red cabezon. Oh my goodness. I could not be more happy. Wow. Dude, look at that. The freaking weave method. The bait will not come off the hook.
Yeah.
So Martin just pointed out that this fish has blue meat. And you can tell by looking inside the fish's mouth. Get a little sunlight in there. And you might be able to see that it's kind of blue colored.
They don't have teeth.
They just have these little teeth, sandpaper teeth.
Yeah, it's kind of like a leopard shark. But you know, you do want to be careful when handling these fish in their mouths because you know, they do feed on crustaceans, crabs and stuff, so they have powerful jaws. These are one of the best tasting rockfish that you can catch on the California coast, and they come in a variety of colors. You got these maroon ones like this. They come in like a blue spotted pattern and like a brown pattern. Yeah, these are some pretty cool fish. And yeah,
look at that lateral line.
No scales. It's like nice and smooth.
No scales, very rubbery.
Yeah,
very rubbery luster texture to these fish.
Yeah, these guys have pretty gnarly heads. There's some pretty big heads for some
really big heads
for some fish. And you know, cabezon in Spanish, cabezon means big head.
Oh, it means big head. Yeah. Okay, well now it all makes sense.
Yeah. What they're doing out there in their habitat is basically just sitting waiting for some bait fish, or sometimes, like, you know, these cabezons will be waiting for a crab to crawl by and sitting and waiting.
Just sitting and waiting.
Like we are when we're fishing, we're sitting and waiting.
We're doing.
Be sure to subscribe to Martin's channel on YouTube at Mansera Outdoors.
That is 16 inches. Yeah, so she's legal by 1 inch.
Woo! Little feisty one.
I'm all set back up with a really nice whole squid. You can see I've got my bait is weaved on there. It's gonna stay on really well. We're fishing 3 ounces now. Let's whip this out.
Recast your bait until you're happy with where you've placed it. If you're not happy with where your bait lands, go ahead and reel it all back in as fast as you can and recast until you feel confident. Then hold on, because the bite could happen.
I feel good about that placement. Get this back in the water as soon as possible. All right, he's unhooked. Let's chuck him right here. That took about 60 seconds or less.
Of the ocean never cease to amaze me. I can slow down, zoom in, and just stare at every inch of it. Every time I go fishing, I see something I've never seen before. I get to reach out and touch it, feel it, consume it. connect with nature.
So just in case you guys are wondering how I rig these up, everybody has their own method, preferred method for rock fishing. A lot of people use leaders, swivels, all kinds of terminal tackle, and I do not do that. I use straight braid, really heavy braid. I'm even thinking about upgrading from this 65 pound. So far the 65 pound is working really well, so I'll probably end up sticking with 65 pound braid. And then that is a Palomar knot, just drop shotted hook, see? So just your standard Palomar drop shot rig, and I'm out of 4 ounces, I'm gonna use 3 ounces. Actually, I'm really digging the 3 ounces. It's staying put in place, and I can feel it. When I wanna check on it to see if it moves, I can move it just a little bit. So 3 ounces working really well. So it's such a simple rig, and my hook is about 18 inches above my weight. I like to keep it like maybe 2 feet above the weight. I have tried it down close to the weight, and I've tried it up further. I don't know if it makes much of a big difference, but I like to keep it at about 2 feet actually. I figure if my weight is down in between a couple rocks, then I want my bait to be up where it's visible, they can smell it and see it. Done. All right, that is wrapped. Now here's the hook. So now here's the weave, guys. So there's your threads right there. Take this seriously, guys, because this really does work super, super well. Down under, just the tip sticks out. So then I go back under again. Some more threads. There, it just clicked into place. And now that is locked in. It's not gonna come off. I'm gonna pull the head off because the head's probably gonna come off when I cast anyways. We got this nice big chunk of squid. I'm going a big piece of squid. I'd really like to catch a ling cod. Ultimately, that's really, I really want to keep my options open for, is catching a ling cod. Oh, baby.
We are in the zone. I'm really happy with my bait placement on that cast, and wouldn't you know it, I got a bite. Meet the Strongylocentritus purpuratus, the formidable purple sea urchin. A native of the Pacific Ocean, still, these spiny creatures are quietly wreaking havoc on our coastal ecosystems. In recent years, their population has exploded, decimating vast swaths of kelp forests, particularly in areas like Santa Barbara. These underwater jungles are vital for marine life, but the urchin's voracious appetite threatens their existence. But there is a silver lining. The sea urchin's roe, known as uni, is considered a delicacy. Just 3 ounces of this uni can fetch $140. So I placed my cast too far to the left, and I figured, well, I may as well go ahead and fish it. For all I know, that's the honey hole. But I didn't feel very confident, so I decided, let's go ahead and reel up and place it further to the right where I want it. Let's fish the best looking water.
Woo! That's the spot.
Hook set technique is easy. You don't really need to set the hook. Just wait until you feel the fish go for a run. Start to wind down on the fish, and if your rod loads, the fish is already on. Now it's your job to wind fast and hard enough to keep your rod bent, which I find is sometimes a genuine challenge. I gotta mention what hard work it is reeling in these rockfish. It's nothing like catching a fish on lightweight lures and a light rod. Rock fishing requires strength and stamina. A big, fast, powerful reel makes all the difference.
Look at that. Nice, big Grassy rockfish. That's what I'm talking about right there. That is what it's all about. There's no way he could get that bait off the hook. You can see how it's still on. It's not coming off. He cannot steal that bait. And I got such a good, nice hook set because that hook is totally wide open. Take a look at this beautiful fish right here. Check out that beautiful grassy rockfish. Nice big fish. I don't know, maybe 15 inches, maybe 14.
Man, that's a quality grass bass right there.
That's a nice one. They bite hard. It's so cool. I love sea monsters. That's what I'm all about, man. I love these punk rock looking fish.
I encourage the fish to stay in the shade so they don't get tacky tan lines.
Let's go ahead and just launch the same bait right out there. Still with the weave method. I didn't mess with it or anything. It's just still ready to go. Here's some mussels. Oh my God! I did not see that coming! Whoa. Ow. It's like yanked on my toenail. Holy crap, I just got drenched.